No! Are you trying to kill me? I'm about to die! Don't worry, that's not me. But it's a part of me. It's the bacteria that live inside my gut. There are many fun foods that typical 10-year-olds like to eat, such as Cheetos, Doritos, candies, cookies, and a lot more. I can't eat these fun foods because I don't have the bacteria to digest them. The bacteria that I do have in my gut need me to eat mainly healthy foods, like vegetables, lean meats, and foods low in sugar. Basically, my body has an automatic warning system that makes me feel bloated, have stomach aches, and a loss of appetite when I eat these fun foods. But that's just the beginning of my story. I promise there is much more. Whenever I open my refrigerator door, I always see a bottle that says, "You got this." It makes me feel reassured and safe that I actually have something to help me stay healthy. I mean, who doesn't like the feeling of being healthy? Meanwhile, at the same time, I was asking a handful of questions like, why was that bottle even in the refrigerator in the first place? Or how could it help me? During snack time at school, I always see my friends opening packages or crunching on chips. I have to admit, I do feel a little jealous that my friends are doing these things, and I can't. I mean, come on. Now, let me tell you my real story. Over the years, my parents have told me that I was born with less microbial flora than most babies. At first, they didn't know what was different about me. They went to many doctors to see if anyone could do anything about their strange baby. None of the physicians had any idea what was wrong with me. My parents soon started an elimination diet to check for any changes. First, they eliminated dairy and eggs. Nothing changed. Since both of my parents were already medical professionals, they decided to start doing the research themselves. They soon thought the problem was related to some imbalance of my microbial gut flora, but they had no clear vision on how to fix the issue. They decided to start eliminating bread, leavened baked goods, and packaged juices. That made a big change in terms of bloating, less constipation, and definitely more appetite. A couple of months later, a family friend who's a gastroenterologist suggested the American Gut Project. That was pretty much the missing puzzle piece. My gut flora was tested and the lab test came back in 2 months. Thankfully, that result was extremely helpful because it showed my parents that my gut flora was majorly low in lactobacillus and bifidus. These bacteria are two of the most useful species in your gut. My parents immediately started giving me yogurt, along with home-made fresh foods loaded with vegetables and low in sugar. Since then, I've always been on an all-organic, healthy diet and probiotics. It definitely helped my general health all around. Dairy is the source that feeds lactobacillus and bifidus, and that was the big piece of the puzzle that was unsolved. To understand more about what I'm trying to say, you'll have to understand the basics of our immune system. First, you'll have to know about some of the most important cells in our immune system, such as T cells and B cells. T cells can come in many different types. One kind of T cell helps to get rid of the good cells that have already been infected. Another type of T cell, called the killer T cell, helps to destroy all of the bad infected cells. Last, the helper T cell instructs the killer T cells when to attack. Next, for the B cells. B cells are specific to various viruses that they fight. For example, one B cell can produce an antibody for the flu. An antibody is a protein that fights off viruses and diseases. Scientists and doctors call the tiny bacteria that make up viruses antigens. Oh, I forgot to tell you about one more very important cell, the memory cell. Go figure. Memory cells can remember past antigens, and if they ever come back, you guessed it, they attack. Now comes the most interesting part, where you see the connection between my story and the immune system. Gut microbial flora boosts our immune system, but how? Research shows that gut bacteria play a big role in balancing the immune system, scientifically called immune homeostasis. Each species of these good bacteria help in the development of different subtypes of immune regulatory cells, which have direct connections with B cells, T cells, and of course memory cells. In order to boost our immune system, we need to eat food that helps the gut flora to thrive. Exercising regularly also helps. Research shows that gut healthy foods include ginger, herbs and spices, tea with honey, garlic, green leafy vegetables, fruits, and definitely whole grains. Some scientific data also emphasize that foods like carrots, chards, and spinach are rich in beta-carotene, vitamin C, and vitamin E, which play a big role in controlling immune functions. Because these foods are rich in antioxidants, they can help reduce the risk of cancer and many other diseases as well. In a nutshell, good bacteria in our gut are extremely important, and we probably couldn't live without them. As I said earlier, my gut flora was majorly low on lactobacillus and bifidus, two of the most important gut bacteria. But with a healthy diet, I could establish a good flora for my system. It's that simple. In our generation, we are seeing a lot more research on microbial gut flora and its endless connection to different diseases like autoimmune disorders. To wrap up, I want to quote Michael Pollan for inspiring me to continue learning about gut health and the process of making my body happy. Treat treats as treats. To explain this idea, he writes, "There is nothing wrong with special occasion foods, as long as every day is not a special occasion." Throughout my journey, both my parents and I faced situations that I never want anybody to face ever again. I decided to tell my story to this world with the hope that it might help kids of my age to understand the connection between a healthy diet and the gut bacteria and how it can boost the immune system. Stay healthy. Thank you.